Okay, so it's super sunny right here. I'm trying to not look so shiny. No, you do not know me. My name is Cassie. I'm a 31-year-old single mom, and I am taking a leap of faith right now and sending this video. So why am I sending this video? I've done a lot of research to find out who was working on the project about Chairman Fred Hampton, and I believe that it's your organization. Chairman Fred, and this topic is something that is near and dear to my heart. I've studied it extensively in college. In fact, my last paper about my last research paper was for a global terrorism course, and the demise of the Black Panther Party is what set the foundation for gangs in LA, the Crips and the Bloods, because a lot of those children were the children who were at the Breakfast for Children program. They were eating because of the Black Panther Party. Their mothers were being taken care of because of the Black Panther Party. And so when the Black Panther Party was dismantled, those kids really had nowhere to go and nobody else to look up to, and all hope was lost, and gangs were created. And so when I presented this paper to my professor, I had to submit a rough draft and the topic, and he flat out told me, you cannot write this paper. You cannot write this paper. You cannot submit this paper. I will not grade this paper. And so I did not submit a paper at all because I felt like, we were given the freedom to choose the topic and to come up with our own topics, and I felt like my opinion should have been respected. I feel like the light is less in my eyes now, but I felt like my opinion and my paper should have been respected, especially if I had the research to back it up, which I did. I did extensive research on the FBI, the COINTELPRO program, and which basically stated that the Black Panther Party was the biggest threat to American security at the time. And it was ran by J. Edgar Hoover. And I felt that was a basis for my argument, because they were a nonviolent organization and they were trying to protect a community that had been over-policed for centuries. And so I didn't submit my paper. I didn't submit a paper at all. I took a lesser grade. I think I walked away with like a C, but I walked away really, really proud because I stood my ground, and I felt like my work should have been respected because I did extensive research for it, and I felt like it was wrong for my professor to reject it on the basis of simply because he did not believe in the topic, which I had proven to be factual. So I am from Maywood, Illinois, and that is where Chairman Fred is from, and he went to my high school. So I am going to give you like a little tour of Maywood because I'm sitting in a parking lot right now. So I'm going to show you my high school. I'm going to show you his apartment. I'm going to show you I'm not going to tell you everything. I'm just going to show you. So I'm going to drive now, turn my camera off now, and then we can reconvene.
So this is my high school, Proviso East, home of the Pirates. I'm in the car. The kids are having like baseball or football camp or something right now. I'm going to go around the front too. It's actually like 7 p.m. so school is closed. So this is Proviso. This is where myself and Chairman Fred Hampton went to high school. Proviso East. Sorry for the bus. Proviso East Pirates. Driving around is like bringing back so many memories. Walking home from school, leaving school to go to the restaurant I was supposed to not be leaving. The good old days. So now I'm going to take you to a place that is really, really, really special. It's like it was created in memory of Chairman Fred here in Maywood, and it's really a gem in the community. Okay, so I'm actually going to park my car, to get out and show you this, because you kind of got to see it up close. Okay, here we go. We are here. I'm going to show you something really special. This is the Fred Hampton Pool. It was created in memory of Chairman Fred, and that is a statue of Fred Hampton right here in Maywood, Illinois. I get emotional every time I'm over here, every time I think about him, every time I think about his potential, and the impact that he made in such a short amount of time. And I also think about, where would he be now? And, you know,
how much more could he have accomplished if he were not murdered? It's really beautiful here. The village manager did a great job rehabbing it because prior government had really, let the place go, but now it's back and running. Look at him. This is like a statue of like a speech that he gave. And yeah, his birthday is August 30th, and that is also my son's birthday. This is his aquatic center, and I just really wanted to show you because I feel like it's a really special place. And I also think that coming to Maywood would be very authentic for the production. I think that, coming here to his home would be very authentic for the production because this was his home. And also, this was the last place that William O'Neill was alive. He visited his family members here before he took his life when he walked onto the 290 Eisenhower Expressway right over down the street on 1st Avenue. It's literally like a few blocks from where I am. This is the last place that he came. I think that he was just overcome with the guilt, and it finally hit him, like the magnitude of what he had done and the life that he had taken, and he could not take it anymore. So I researched him as well, and I actually feel really terrible for him, the decisions that he had to make. A tremendous guilt that he must have felt, because when you really think about it, they were just children. William as well, they were so young. And when you threaten someone's freedom, I think we all will probably have a hard time making the right decision in the circumstances that he was placed in, So that is my tour. Oh no, I have one more place to show you. Okay.
So I get super emotional when talking about Fred Hampton, and one of my favorite quotes from him was, "You can kill the revolutionary, but you cannot kill the revolution." I just can't imagine what it was like to be that young and to have so much fire and courage and bravery, and to know that your life was threatened just because you wanted to live. I am so scared, sending this video. I'm sure nobody else ever done anything like this. I don't have an agent or somebody to represent me or a manager. Or the only acting work I've really done was theater, and I've been an extra on many shows. But this is important to me, to my heart and my soul. All the research I've done for it, and the love that I have for this man, for the revolution that he started.
For all of his work, for his sacrifice. I'm well aware that I would not be where I am if he did not exist. I'm well aware that if he did not have the courage to be who he was, then I would be experiencing the world differently. And I think that's what gave me the courage to do these videos and to just take a leap of faith. It's just remembering who he is and just hoping to at least touch one person and impact one person the way that he touched and impacted so many. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. God, I'm proud even if nobody gets this or watches this. I'm going to show you something else though.
So we are arriving to the next location. It's right by my elementary school, my grade school, elementary school, and we're arriving. I'm going to get out a little bit to show you this place as well because it's really significant, and it's right across the street from my elementary school. I'm going to get out to show you.
So this is Chairman Fred's childhood home. There's a sign out in front because it was actually going to be demoed, but we had to fight to keep it. It was on foreclosure. It says, long live Chairman Fred. So this is where he grew up in Maywood, Illinois. And that's my elementary school. I'm so proud of my elementary school.
Okay, it done got dark on us out here. I'm actually in front of the high school, Proviso East. I'm in the parking lot, this restaurant Al's. This is where I used to sneak out to for lunch when I wasn't supposed to be. Let me turn the camera around. Yes, the food is great. I'm sure it ain't all that good for you, but listen. I got me some beef fried rice. They're known for their super tacos. Anywho, we're about to move on to our next gym, alright? We are arriving to our next location. And it is Triton College. This is where he went to college. Right here down on 5th Avenue. And it's actually River Grove, like the next town over or whatever, but we're just gonna ride around a little bit. It's kind of dark, so I'm gonna try to let y'all see as much as the campus as I can. Like, that's the field over there. But I'm just gonna let you see a little bit of it. I mean, you can't really walk around the halls, and it will probably do no justice to, like, just be walking around the halls. But I just wanna let you guys see all the gyms. So, here we are. So, we're gonna ride around the campus for a minute. I actually did, like, summer school here. Did I do it once? I think I did it once. It might have been twice. When I couldn't, like, pay my university, and I just wanted to get some, you know, prereqs out of the way. In this building, the library is in this A building right here. And it's pretty nice, you know, community college. It really is. Student center. This is the student center. It's small, but, you know, if a great nine like Fred Hampton, you know, study here, I think this is a sufficient education. Like, people try to knock community college, but Fred Hampton went here. So, yeah. So, riding through the campus, I realized that y'all probably don't want to see these same buildings. Because every building is pretty much shaped the same with a different letter on there. Y'all want to see that. The point was, this was this college, right? Okay. So, I have more gyms. Even though it's dark outside, I'm trying to give you some light. But I'm just so dedicated to this, and now I'm just having so much fun. So, on our way.
Okay, so we're back down, and I'm just like, maybe I should just do this in the morning when I got some light. But I think I found a little bit of light, whatever. So I have another gym to show you. I'm gonna flip the camera around. Look at that. Chairman Fred, the mural in Chicago on Madison Street, right on the building where Congressman Danny Davis's office is. This is a gym. I always take my nephews over here, and I'm like, who is that? Do you guys know who this is? And we sit here and we have a history lesson, so they all are really well aware of who Chairman Fred is. Try to zoom in. It's amazing. All right, one more gym, and then we're okay. So we have arrived at our final location, and I'm trying to get some good light, but clearly I can't. We arrived at our final location, and I made it the final location just because this is the hardest part of the video, especially for me, but so this location is where he lived in Chicago. So Maywood is about 5-10 minutes from Chicago. That's why people live back and forth in between. But this is where he lived when he was murdered in Chicago. This is the house that CPD raided while he was asleep in, and while he was drugged by William O'Neill, who was his security guard, the FBI informant. So I'm not really gonna walk up to the place or whatever and get out and stuff, because it makes me really, really emotional. But I just wanted to show you, where it is. So I'm gonna flip the camera around so you can see. This is the building, 2337 Monroe Street. That's the door that they went through. And this is where Fred Hampton was murdered in Chicago by Chicago police. Yeah. So, it's so hard for me to be here and not feel, it's really heartbreaking still. I think that's enough recording for tonight. I will reconvene, I guess, in a little bit or in the morning, but I was really dedicated to getting this done today. I did not want to put it off any longer, and I wanted to make sure that I took you to really important places. And so, yeah. There are so many times that I find myself wishing that, he were still here. I think that one of the tactics that, the government then tried to enforce was like fear, and trying to make people lose hope. If you kill the leaders and the people who are on the forefront, it will make everybody else afraid. And I think that, in some ways they were successful in that, but with us, there'll never be a time where we don't fight back. There'll never be a time where we don't fight for freedom and our rights, because we still do. So many of us do today. So I'm emotional now, and it is August 30th, 2019. My son turned 14 years old today, and he shares a birthday with the legendary who, y'all?
Fred Hampton.
So I teach my sons, this is my nephew Aaron right here. I teach my sons a lot about their history, and I teach them a whole lot about Fred Hampton, because he was a young man, but in his short time he was very, very revolutionary. And I want them to know that even though they're young, they can make a big change in this world. So that's why I make sure that they know who he is. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, to look at my research, to even open the message. I fell out. Me and nephew fell out when we saw that you open the message. But this is my passion. So thank you so much. I would so love to be a part of this project. This is near and dear to my heart. So please, if you feel it on your spirit on this new moon that is in Virgo on August 30th, please do contact me back. Thank you. Bye.